Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about getting the skill point quests for basically any int-like server that actually has you able to do the int-like quests. Specifically here, obviously, it's for Bango, so when you play Bango on live servers, you'll know what to do to get your skill points. I think there's a total of 13 skill points from quests that you can get. If I've missed any, feel free to let me know. Unfortunately, can't always just target skill point quests. Some of them are part of chains, in the sense that either the quest is chained or the NPC in question won't give you that quest until you've done a prior quest. You can't just choose what quests from an NPC. You have to like do them in order. Kind of annoying, but there you go. So yeah, I'm going to show you all these quests. Just a quick word of warning is that you cannot drop both Demon Water Dragon heads, which you'll need 35 of, and Demon Mad Knight heads from mobs if they're gray to you. So even if you have the quest, you cannot drop the heads, and you need 40 of those Demon Mad Knight at the end. So you might want to see if you can pick those up while they're still in level range. Even then, it's not easy. Obviously, you have a choice. You can go back and do these quests when you're higher level, which is ideal in some ways because you can use your animal to move around faster. I'm going to be using a cooldown reset on the beta that I can use to use emergency escape on an expert archer. Well, got a bow. But yeah, it's a lot of running. Thankfully, we can teleport, so we're going to use the teleport system a lot here. But yeah, let's sort of get into the quests, and hopefully this will help some of you get some of your skill points that need your memories jogging like I did. Alright, so let's start our questing. So the first guy you're going to talk to is here. You're going to go and get a plunderer to drop you something, the message. And then you're going to go talk to Boatman here. You're starting off in Naruto, but you do a lot of Naruto cargo, as you can see here. I mean, realistically, you don't need the commentary. You can mute me if you'd like and just watch where to go for each thing and what to do. Totally another way to do it. As you can see, there's a guard tucked away there. At that point, you're taking this quest. You go kill Spearhead. You get the strategic map. These quests aren't too difficult. Just annoying, I think, to go back and forth. But at least, again, you don't have to worry too much about having to, buy teleports. So that's one good thing. But as you can see, there's a lot of talking back and forth. And I suppose some of these NPCs, you might not remember where they are. So this video might help you in that way, figure out where they are. And like I said, some of them don't even give skill points and stuff. You just kind of have to do them. Another thing probably worth mentioning is that for some of these quests, you might need to, like, for example, I think it's the Milk Fetch and White Peony. I don't know what what the hell that is, but anyway, these two items you get from big-handed slaves. You should get more. I think it's 22 you need, because the first quest is 10, and then there's a quest later that needs 12 of each. So yeah, it's just kind of worth like keeping that kind of thing in mind. But the main goal of this video is just to show you who to talk to, where to go, where to kill the mobs. That's really it. So it's just annoying. A lot of the stuff you get too from these is contribution points, which you can see there, and these are for leveling up guilds. Some quests, some servers obviously just give you loads of contribution points, but if you don't, there's two ways to level up guilds that you'll need. One is a lot of XP, which is sad to give that XP away. But another thing is the contribution points, which you get from doing these quests. So if you're going to do skill point quests, you can get those at the same time. One thing I would also say about these quests is you could try to do them while leveling. So Bango will be kind of a slow rate server, but it won't be like one times. So it's kind of difficult for me to tell you at the moment how slow that'll be. It's kind of like with the job change quest. You could leave it to level 30, or you could do it as you go. It's really hard to say. I think all this moving around is really inefficient because you're unlikely to have speed up meds too frequently while you're leveling. Whereas if you do the quests when you're higher level, you're more likely to have speed up meds, which makes life a million times easier. What I'm doing here is, as I said in the start, I'm abusing the fact that this is a beta test character. So what I can do is I can use emergency escape and then cooldown reset and use emergency escape again. And this is the first, or is it the second Milk Fetch and White Peony quest? I don't know. Maybe it was the second one. I didn't really look. I've just been chatting nonsense. But yeah, so these take a long time, and it's a ton of moving around, even if you're one-shotting the mobs and all the rest of it. And obviously, it's even faster for me because most of the mobs have the 40 times drop rate applied for being on the test server. Now, on the live server, they will not have that, and you could kill a mob and not get a single drop, let alone billions of drops like you're seeing here. This is just me showing you where some of the demon soldiers are. There's a really good spawn, actually, of demon soldiers by the bridge here, so worth keeping that in mind. I think it's just helpful to show you where more of them might be, because obviously you might have competition for killing some of the mobs. Maybe another reason. Also, I'm showing once again how to do the Keg of Talisman from Chang to get your ancient animal. I couldn't find a Dogobi though. Look at that. It took ages. I showed this in my beginner guide video. If you haven't watched that, check that out. But I showed it in that video too with more detail, but it's super fast, so I figured I might as well throw it in here in case someone only watches this video. But yeah, so as you can see, this time we need the rice cakes, so we're back out here again for the big-handeds, and they just spawn up here. It's easy. Some of these mobs, by the way, around the mine also spawn if you go out of temporary fort, and you can go towards Naruto from there. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Just follow what's on the video. If you do know what that means, obviously you can find some more mobs there. But generally, the mine has much better spawns for most of these. So yeah, it's worth keeping in mind. So yeah, so at this point, we've gotten a few skill points early on, so not too bad, nothing too crazy. And as I sort of alluded to, the only time I'm really going to get stuck is for the Demon Water Dragon heads and the Mad Knight heads, because yeah, they just don't drop if they're gray to you, even if you have the quest. This is to prevent high levels abusing, I guess, level ups, repeat quests, I guess. I did lobby to change the quests a little bit with Creative Zen and Lafreak, but they weren't having any of it. So yeah, unfortunately, by the looks of it, as things stand, you're going to have to... Oh, this is a really good spot for infantry soldiers, by the way. So I should have just gone out this way from the mine rather than gone down the ramp. Anyway, yeah, so as it stands, you're going to have to do a lot of killing of water dragons and demon man knights. That's going to be rough. They're convinced that there'll be people that'll make it into their their side hustle. I'm not so convinced that there would be supply for so many players with enough people degenerate to want to farm this, because yeah, demon man knights, that was not a fun farm. Perhaps that's like an argument for trying to do these quests when they're in level, but it's still going to be really slow to do those parts of the quests. To be honest with you, unless you really want the contribution points also, a lot of classes you might be able to get away with not really doing that many of these quests. I mean, certainly for myself, like as an archer, if I play IC maybe, but even if I play IC, I can kind of get away with it until I'm like 50s. And EA the same. I think Vega, you don't really need to worry about too much. The Thieves, I don't know about Hitman. IS won't need to worry about these quests, really. Again, if you want contribution to help the guild early on, I'm sure they'll be grateful for you doing the quests, but, there I accidentally clicked to enlarge the thing. But yeah, so there's the Demon Water Dragons, and this is just quickly showing you the first time where I realized, oh wait, yeah, this won't work. So this has caused some confusion on Discord already, but basically this character is level 80, so the mobs are gray, but you don't have to be 80 for these mobs to be gray. I have the quest, but they won't drop the heads anyway. I have tested it more than what you'll see here, just to be sure. And then basically I've cut the video so you don't have to watch me go onto a level 30 mage and farm them manually, which took a long time. Fair warning. So yeah, so just keep that in mind, I guess, is that's going to be a thing. Now, what I would also mention is that there's not just skill point quests, right? There's like XP quests and stuff. So if that's your way to play, you can do all the quests, do the ones that give you XP as well as also XP and skill points, because you don't just get contribution and skill points, you do get like other stuff like XP usually. Is that going to be an efficient way to level? I don't know. It might be a more efficient way to level early on. It is targeting it that way. I don't know. The quests become much more streamlined as you mature in the game. Once you're like 50 plus, it's super easy. I think all the quests up to level 50 though are kind of convoluted, which is why I've made this part of the video. I'm thinking about making a second job change quest guide as well. So if there's interest in that, let me know for sure, because I'll get that done as well. As I said, the level 30 job change quest is part of my beginner guide. Again, if you've not seen that and you're interested in how to job change for level 30, which you would be, I definitely watched parts of that video that include that. So here again, Demon Man Knights, I didn't even finish the quest. I literally leveled... Oh, sorry, I grinded them on my mage for a bit. Like, it took me like 40 minutes to get 12 heads. And then Lafreak just gave me like 500. So, yeah. This is like my word of warning on those two. So, yeah, worth keeping in mind. Every other quest is fine. You can be... the mobs can be great, and the quest items are unique, and they only drop when you have the quest. So the game just lets you drop them. Whereas because the heads drop, no matter what, and they're used in repeatable quests, that's why it's the way that it is. So yeah. Hopefully this is all okay for everyone. Everyone's kind of following along and pausing appropriately or slowing the video down in YouTube. I might get some comments about that people don't know that you can slow YouTube videos down. Obviously, I've sped it up because I don't want this. This is hours of footage, by the way. So, yeah. Finally, there's a quest, and I get lost. So you're going to see me be lost about where I'm supposed to go for this NPC. But hey, we're sped the footage up, so it's not too bad. And then I realized, oh, wait, I actually do know where this guy is. And he's kind of by the Knight NPC. It's this guy here, the Knight Trainers. It's this guy here. And this is the final one. This bead quest is familiar to some of you. You're going to use that teleport to Devil Castle in the corner of Temp Fort there, by the way. So this is the last bead quest. You get all these beads from each unique type of ghost. And this one is Sealed Ghost, and they're the ones that give the skill points. If the others do, I don't think so, but they should just give quite a lot of XP for their level if you do them when they're still at their level. They're notoriously difficult, even on other servers, these bead quests, especially if they're int-like. I had an absolute nightmare finding Sealed Ghosts. And I don't really know why, because I don't remember them being this difficult to get a hold of a lot of. I got frustrated there in Combative Spirit, one of them. But we did get this quest done eventually, and this is the very last skill point quest. So once you've done this one, this is the last one that I'm aware of. Again, if you know of more and I've missed them, absolutely feel free to leave in the comments. This is old information. So there isn't like an official guide on this. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. As you can see here, I'm still looking for my last ghost, but the video's over. I find the last bead and then I turn it in. That's the last skill point. Yeah, so let me know what other videos you might want to see. I'm looking at the 50 job change one. I'm probably going to do an enhancing video, like to enchant your gear and stuff, because I think that's important. But yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, I will catch you guys on the next video.